Hello everyone. Good morning once again. Welcome to the today's demo session on Microsoft Dynamics D365 Finance and Operations Technical. My name is Ram, and I have total 17 years of experience in Microsoft technologies. I have worked on multiple Microsoft technologies like .NET, SharePoint, and then from last 10 years I'm working on the Microsoft Dynamics. And from last 5 years I'm working on D365 Finance and Operations. Okay, today I'm going to give demo on D365 Finance and Operations Technical. Let's see what is the history and how it is started and what are the different technologies where it's using and how we can develop and what are the integrations we can do and all. Okay, let me share my screen. I hope all of you people are able to hear me clearly.
Yes, sir.
Good. Thanks for confirming. And in between, if you have any questions, note down and I will take up all the questions at the end of the session. Without answering your questions, I will not leave the session. Okay, once I completed the explanation, at the end of the session, I will take the questions. Okay, in between, if I take the questions, the topics will be deviate and it will go pro longer. So let's note down your questions and I will try to give all the answers at the end of the session. Anybody coming from the X2012 background, or all of you are new to the application and just completed the college and came back like that?
Hi, this is Sharon. I'm working as a developer on 2012.
Okay, good.
So I already have 4 5 years of experience in 2012. So I want to learn the new version 365.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Apart from Sharon,
Yeah,
anybody else?
uh,
Yeah, I'm Tejasri. I have 11 months of experience in AX. I want to learn D365.
Good.
Hi, can you hear me?
Is it
Hello.
Resh?
Reis, yeah.
Yeah, your voice is a
Yeah,
bit low. Now it's better. You can.
yeah,
But
yeah. I have 4 years experience in AX 2012, mostly application support and
mhm, good.
I'm working with Sharon, so we both are colleagues. So yeah, looking forward to have this D365. Let's start. Thank you.
Okay, good to hear. Okay, let's start. This section will cover from the basic concepts itself, well, by comparing with the X2012 as well. So it will benefit both people who are not having any background on Dynamics as well as the people who are already working on the X2012. So each and every topic it will be covered by comparing with the previous version X2012. Okay. Coming to the demo section, how many of you know D365 Finance and Operations is an ERP. So most of you people are already working on X2012. So what is meant by an ERP? ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay. What is the use of this Enterprise Resource Planning? For example, if you take any organization, it can be a manufacturing or it can be a service, anything, whatever. It can be a software development company or anything. So if they want to execute their daily activities and their systems or anything, they need some resources. Okay, resources can be different things. It can be like human resources, okay, manpower. For example, if you take some manufacturing company kind of thing, you need the raw materials. If you are manufacturing something, you need to have the raw materials to prepare some of the things, right? It can be a raw material or it can be a manpower. anything. Okay. And for the daily activities, different people will do different things. Same organization can do manufacture the product, and they can do their product to the, they have to do the marketing and sales, everything they have to do. So they, each and every organization, they have different business processes they have to work on the daily activities. For example, if you take a service company, it can, a service company in the sense it can be a like insurance company. What they will sell, they will sell the insurance policies. Okay, each and every policy whatever they're selling, they have to maintain, and they have to market their product, and they have to maintain the information of the customers, and they have to pay. For example, if something happens, they have to pay to the customers, right? So they have to pay, everything they have to maintain. So that will be one organization. It will deal with the multiple services, products. Okay. If you take some car sales company, so what they will do, they will sell the cars. So they have to get the cars from the manufacturers, and they have to assemble it, and they will sell it, right? They will get the different products. Some of the organizations like Tata and all, they will manufacture some of the products themselves. Otherwise, some of the products they will buy it from the different organizations, and they will assemble it, and they will sell the cars. Okay. So that type of organizations, they have to maintain their ERP package. Okay, enterprise resource planning. So every, whatever the resource it can be, it will be maintained this enterprise resource planning. Can somebody give some examples of ERP systems in the market? One is our D365 Finance and Operations, AX 2012, Dynamics, SAP,
Oracle.
Oracle apps. What else we have? We have Navision, PeopleSoft. Okay, these are all the different ERP systems available in the market. Okay, why we are calling it as ERP? It is dealing with the multiple things. Like for example, if you take one e-commerce system, we have multiple type of systems, right? One is enterprise application. We call it as enterprise application in the sense they will, as per the customer requirement, they will do their business, and specific to that enterprise, we will develop the system and give it to them. Like for example, if you have some web application or something, some app you are using it, that will deal with that specific business. Okay, if they want to do anything, they have to, we have to develop that application to the specific enterprise. We call it as enterprise applications. And we have e-commerce systems. What is meant by an e-commerce? Give some example. Okay, e-commerce is the business. It's an electronic commerce system. They are selling their products on the online. Okay, for example, if you take Amazon, Flipkart, all these are e-commerce systems. What they will do, they will sell their products, and they will create the sales order, and they will maintain the customer information, and you can track all the information related to the customer, and what is the product you bought it for, the respective to the sales order, and what is the invoice address, what is the delivery address, and everything they will maintain in the e-commerce system. Okay, and third one is our ERP. Okay, ERP system, it is not only deals with the sales, it will deals with the complete organization. uh, it can maintain with the complete sales, and whatever the, for example, if you are purchasing something to manufacture or for daily operations, it can maintain the purchase, and it can maintain the complete accounts of the organization. uh, what are the accounts you are getting inside, and what are the amounts you are paying to the your vendors and all, everything it will maintain. And your assets, it will maintain what are the assets you have. It can be fixed assets or liquid assets, everything it will maintain. Okay, you'll have different modules in the ERP system, like accounts payable and accounts receivable We call it as AR. General ledger, it will maintain the complete accounts related to the organization. Okay, we have sales and marketing. These are the different modules, and system administration is one of the important thing. It will main whatever the related system related information will maintain in the system. We have different modules. These specific things will be maintained in the functional side. So here, if you're coming to the D365 finance and operations, we have two types of like uh, we can maintain the career. Okay, one people who have the functional knowledge, they can come from the some accounting background or MBA background, something like that. They can go to the functional side. We call it as functional consultants. Okay, and currently we are discussing about the technical people who are going in the programming knowledge and they want to go for the programming side. We have the technical consultants. We have technical consultants, software engineers, senior software engineers, like that, team leads and all. Based on the experience, it will go outside. What functional consultants will do? Functional consultant will do the setups and create the company structure and everything, like the general ledger, like accounting and different main accounts and all. Whatever the setups required for that particular company and all, they will set up, and they will give the user training and all to the client people. And technical consultants, for example, I have bought a D365 finance and operations system from the Microsoft. Okay, I'm I want to change something in that system according to my company needs. So in some forms I need to add some extra information, and in my business process, there is some deviation. I need to add more information, and according to that I need to change my business process. All those things will be customized by technical consultants. Okay, those are the things. And coming to the history of this dynamics. Okay, we have different versions of dynamics. In 2009, Microsoft bought some from the Morphex, and they have released the protocol AX 2009. This is a desktop application. Can some if people know what is meant by desktop application? Desktop application in the sense we have to install the application on our desktop before using it. For example, if you take MS Office, okay, MS Office, what we will do, we will get the MSI file, .msi file, and we will install on the system. Once it is installed, you can see MS Word, MS PowerPoint, and all, and you will open and you will work on that. Like that, we need to install it on our desktop, and we need to use it for each and every desktop. For example, if you have server and you need to have the clients, okay, instead of installing on each and every desktop, we can install it on the server, and through network you can install a client and you can connect to that particular server by using the client server architecture. That we will see what is client server architecture and all I will explain. And later Microsoft has this is the desktop application, and this is the development environment is the Morphex. If you want to do some customizations and everything, we will use the Morphex UI, and there we use it to customize the change the code, or if you want to add the new objects and all, we can do that by using the Morphex tool. And later Microsoft has released AX 2012. And in AX 2012 we have different versions: R1, R2, and R3. Okay, release 1, release 2, and release 3. And Microsoft came up with the some new concepts like SSRS reports and EP portal. Okay, all those things. This is also a desktop application, and some DMF framework. All these things came into picture in AX 2012. This is also a desktop application, and Morphex is the tool to customize it in AX 2012 also. Later, Microsoft has released AX7 and AX 8.0, and later they renamed it at D365 Finance and Operations, and it is version 10. Okay. Now they are releasing the every 45 days like that. They are releasing one minor version. Currently it is 10.0.26, I think. These are the versions. Okay. Now coming to 365 Finance and Operations, Microsoft has completely changed the architecture. The concepts are same. Functional side, everything is same, but architecture side they have changed. So they have moved completely this application into the cloud. What is Microsoft Cloud is Azure. Okay. Previously it is a desktop application. We have to install it on the server, and for connecting to that server, we need to install the client and we need to configure the file. So each and every desktop, wherever you want to access it, you need to install the client and you need to configure it. And you should be in the same network and everything. Now from AX7 onwards, Microsoft has completely changed it, and it is hosted on the cloud. So this is a web application. Web application in the sense we can directly access by using the internet. For example, if Gmail and all, Gmail, how you are accessing? Simply by giving the URL, you are accessing it through internet, right? Like that, you can access the D365 Finance and Operations application. Okay. Previously, everything, for example, if you want to install something X2012, you need to configure everything. You need to install from the scratch. You need to have the Windows Server OS. On top of that, we will install the SQL Server for the database purpose. And you need to, if you don't have this organization Active Directory and all, you need to install the configure the Active Directory, Windows Active Directory. You need to configure it. On top of that, we need to install the AX2012 and the SSRS report configuration and everything we need to do. As this is Azure, Microsoft is giving the direct virtual machines based on the templates. So you can simply provision an environment within 3 to 4 hours. You can directly plug and play kind of thing. You can directly connect to that environment. You can everything is installed here. And coming to the X7, the whatever the development tool we are using is Visual Studio. Previously it was Morpex. Okay. Now let's coming to this architecture and all. Let me go to the PPT. Okay. This is the D365 Finance and Operations architecture. Previously we used to use the Windows Server Active Directory. Now it is completely migrated to the Azure Active Directory concept. Okay. Microsoft Azure Active Directory. It is tightly into finance and operations applications are tightly integrated with the Microsoft Azure Active Directory. Now it will not support with the Windows Server Active Directory. For example, if your organization is having Windows Server Active Directory and you are connecting to your organization applications through Windows Server Active Directory, definitely it should be migrated to the Azure. Then only you can use the finance and operations applications. So Microsoft Azure Active Directory, it is tightly integrated. If you have the currently Windows Server Active Directory, you can migrate to the Microsoft Azure Active Directory, that you can upgrade and migrate all your users, groups, whatever you created, you can migrate to the Azure Active Directory. For maintaining this users and all, we have Microsoft Office 365 Admin Center. Here you can create your Windows Active Directory groups, users and all. And we have new concept here, LCS Lifecycle Services. This is a web portal provided by Microsoft. This is also a web portal. You don't need to install anything on your machine. Microsoft.lcs.com. You have Lifecycle Services portal. By using this portal, you can maintain your environments and all. For this, you need a Azure subscription and all. you need to have the Microsoft Azure subscription. For each and every organization, they need to buy the subscription. Based on that subscription, the Microsoft will charge the thing based on the usage. For example, in Azure we have different concepts. I will come to that. What is SaaS and what is ISAS and all. I will come to that. This is the Visual Studio Team Services. Previously, we have a concept called TFS, Team Foundation Server. The people who are already working on AX2012, they know. Whatever the code we are developing, we need to check in that code, and other developers can use that code by taking the latest information. And now in D365 Finance and Operations, Microsoft has came up with a new concept by using this Visual Studio Team Services. Currently, we are calling it as Team Services. DevOps we are calling. Okay, Development Operations. It is a huge concept again, DevOps. But in DevOps, we use the few concepts like Team Foundation. Okay, Visual Source Safe. That is check in and check out purpose. We will create the branches and we will check in the code to that branches and all. That we will see. That concept also I will explain how to check in and all in the actual classes. How to create a branch, how to check in and all, how to use that DevOps and all. Along with that, whatever the customizations we are doing. For example, today uh, I did some customization. I have created a new table and form. Okay, I did the changes in my development environment. Tomorrow you need to move that changes to the test environment for the testing purpose. Test what the testing people will do the testing. Once the testing is completed, you need to move that customization to the your UAT environment. Actual users will do the user acceptance testing. Once that is moved to completed, if they are okay with those changes, whatever we have developed, we need to move that to the production. So in by using the DevOps, you can by automate for creating the packages. Okay, packages we can create by using the DevOps. Whatever you have checked in the code, it will automatically compile that code by using the Microsoft Azure build mission and build mission we have. By using that build mission, it will create the package, and that package can be directly uploaded to the LCS. By using this LCS, we can apply that package to the different type of environments. We have different type of environments like development environment, build environment, test environment, UAT environment, and production environment. For each and every environment, we can apply that package through LCS Lifecycle Services. Okay, how can we create a new project in LCS, and how can we integrate these to DevOps and VSTS? Those things also I will cover in the actual sections. Okay, how to create a new Active Directory by using the Microsoft portal, Azure Active Directory, how to create and how to create a new user in the Azure Active Directory. So how can we enable that user to connect to the finance and operations application, and how can we connect the finance and operations application and all, and how can we integrate this DevOps and LCS and this Microsoft Admin Center also I will cover in the actual section. And coming to the next, application stack and server architecture. This is the D365 finance and operations architecture. Here you have the this is the finance server architecture. You have the UI interaction layer, Windows communication foundation, and under that you'll have the forms engine. This is for the UI. Whatever the web application we are accessing, we have different forms and all. By using this forms engine and WCF concept, Windows communication foundation concept, the forms will be rendered. Okay, here you will have the metadata and workflow. For workflow, we have workflow related objects, and for batch jobs, you will have the batch server. And this is the for security, you will have the security concepts, and we have the caches. Cache in the sense, Dynamics actually works in these caches. For example, every time if you are going and hitting the database and getting the information, you need to hit the database lot of cycles, and you need to get the information. What this dynamics caches concept will do is, first time whenever you are opening some form, it will go to the database and get the information and put that information in the cache. Next time whenever you are hitting, it will maintain this cache some time, and whenever you are hitting, For example, it is not a frequent data. Based on the type of table and all, it will be configured. So if it is a transaction table, it will check it in the database level, and if it is a master data, it will not frequently change, right? So it will get the data from this cache instead of going to the database and hitting the database and querying again. So this will improve the performance of the application. So OData endpoints WCF, this is the new concept. It is not available in X2012. OData endpoint. Previously, we used to have custom these services, AF services. Okay, now that AF services is completely removed in Digital Finance and Operations. Instead of AF services, we are going to use the OData endpoints. So each and every data entity you are creating, that can be directly exposed to the OData endpoints by giving a simple properties that we will see. This is the data access layer, and we have the database. We call it as AXDB. That I will show up how it will look in the SQL server. And we have some read-only databases, secondary databases like temporary DB and SSRS reports related, all those things. Along with that, we will have the AXDW database, data warehousing related. That also I'll explain how to push the data by using the analysis measures and analytics and all. By using that, by we can create the separate data entities for those also, and how to expose the data entities to by using a data. And we can use some third party tools like Postman and all to connect through the D365 Finance and Operations by creating the application IDs in the Azure portal. We'll see. And this is the finance and operation application stack. The actual code will reside, standard code will reside here. We'll have the application suite and all. We call it as models here. So what is meant by model and all, I will explain. This is the application suite, and we have fleet management. This is for the Microsoft has given for the practice purpose. Fleet management, some customization Microsoft has provided. We can use this one. And for organization structuring, number sequence, and global address book maintenance, and all those things will be under the application foundation model, source documents and all. And we have one more model called application platform. Under that, you will have the runtime and data access related objects and workflow services. Client and presentation means this is the forms related, and SSRS reporting. Okay, here also we have the SSRS reporting. Along with that, we have Power BI reporting as well. We can integrate directly with the Microsoft Dynamics D365 the Power BI services, and we can design our own reports, Power BI reports, and there are a lot of standard reports as well, Power BI reports. We can see all those information that will also cover in this how to develop a Power BI report and how can we integrate the Power BI with the Microsoft Dynamics, and how, where we can see the Power BI reports in the D365 Finance and Operations. That will also be covered in these sessions. Okay, this is the application stack and server architecture. If you're coming to the development environment, what we are going to use, we will have the Visual Studio. By using this Visual Studio, we will have the project system. You can create the projects, and we can create the model. We can reference to the different models. So what is the need of referencing and all, I will explain. And here we are going to use the language called X++ code editor. Previously in X2012 also X++ only. There is no difference in the X++ side. Same language we are going to use. And we have different designers for workflow designer and all, and application explorer. This is for previously AOT, application object tree, right? Here we call it as application explorer. And design time, metadata model, and best practice integration. Everything is best practices. Best practice in the sense, for example, if you are creating a table and field, for the table and field, how you are specifying the primary keys, and what are the field level label and all, you are giving the test, or you are giving the label and all, that will be integrated directly. The best practices are integrated. If you want to design your own best practice also, you can design and integrate with the Visual Studio. What it will do is, every time while compiling, it will check all those best practices, and it will give the warnings or errors based on the your best practice integration. So for example, if you, instead of creating the label ID, if you give the directly string, it will give the warning saying that you need to create the label ID and give it instead of directly providing the string and all. And we have the cloud instance. different environments we will be maintained here, and for runtime we will have the batch management service, storage service, and AOS service. AOS service is hosted by IaaS. Previously we have AOS server, that is the Windows service. In X2012, that is the Windows service. We used to go to the Windows services, and we used to restart in the AOS from the Windows service. Now it is completely, because it is a web application, it is hosted by IIS, Internet Information Services. That is the web server provided by Microsoft. Okay, IIS, Internet Information Services. That will be hosted on the IIS, and AOS service will be available in the IIS. You'll have the business database, and this is the runtime model libraries. What is meant by model and all, we will see. This is the model store file system. Previously, in X2012, we will have the complete model store, and we used to modify the objects. If you, for example, if you want to do some customization, you used to modify the direct standard object by using the layer concept. Now in D365 Finance and Operations, the concept is completely got changed. Customization. Previous whatever we are doing directly modifying, that we call it as overlaying. Now Microsoft came up with a new concept called extensions. If you want to change something for the sum of the object, you need to create an extension for that particular object, and you need to modify it. Okay, so whatever the customization we are doing, that will be maintained in the separate model, and whatever the standard objects are there, that will be maintained in the separate model. So for example, previously in X2012, if you want to deploy some customization, we used to export complete thing to the model store along with the standard objects. Whatever the customizations are there, that customizations we used to export as the model store, and we used to import into the test environment or production environment. Now the deployment process is simplified by creating the model. So we will create a model, and whatever the customizations we are doing, that will be developed by using this model only. So whenever you are deploying the thing, we will create the package for this particular model only. So that means, for example, you have previously in X2012, if you have modified only two objects or three objects, if you want to deploy that complete thing into the without XPP export or XPP thing, if you want to deploy it to the other environments, you need to create some complete model store. So whatever the standard objects are there, along with that, you need to do it. But in here in D365 Finance and Operations, whatever the model we are newly creating, that model, so that will contain only the objects which we have customized. Okay, only that specific customization. So we can create the package to this specific model, and we will deploy that specific package. So it will be automatically reduce the size, and deployment time and package creation time, everything will be reduced. Previously, if you deploy a model store in by exporting it, it usually take more than 24 hours to create the model store and deploy it to the other system. But now within couple of hours, you can create the package and you can deploy, and that will also be a automation. So with single click, you can create the package, you can upload the package to the LCS, and you can apply it to the environment by using the release pipelines. In DevOps, we have a concept called pipelines. By using that pipelines concept, we can create the package, and we can upload the package to the LCS, and we can deploy to the specific environment as well. Okay, that is the model store concept. And coming to the different Azure concepts, for example, in Azure we have different methodologies like software as a service, SaaS we call it as software as a service, and infrastructure as a service. If people are able to follow, right?
Yes.
We have infrastructure as a service and platform as a service. I think if people have already heard these terms, so nowadays completely everything is cloud. Here the what this is the Azure you are calling. Azure means Microsoft cloud. Okay, you have like Amazon cloud also, AWS we call it as Amazon cloud. We have like that, we have different Google, we have different cloud services are there. Okay, Microsoft is they call it as Azure. Okay, that is the Microsoft cloud service provider. If Microsoft provides only software, okay, they will provide only software, we will access that software for our purposes by using the internet. That is the software as a service. Infrastructure, for example, they are creating the complete infrastructure to create our servers and network and everything. Not only network, servers, so like they will install the OS on top of that, whatever the our requirement, different softwares we need. For example, our D365 finance and operations, everything they will install, and they will provide the virtual machine to access it and work on that. That is infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service, platform they will give the complete network concepts also, security, firewalls and everything. We can install on the Azure itself, and we can use the Azure environments. Okay, that is a platform as a service. Okay, what is the difference between cloud systems and normal systems? For example, now you are going to set up an organization, so you need to use our ERP systems, and you need to give access to the each and every user in the system, and they need to enter their details. Okay, so if you want to buy everything, like if you want to install this 365 and operations, you need to maintain the servers, networks and everything. So the initial cost will be very high, because you need to buy all the servers, and 24 by 7 you need to maintain the like support team and everybody. So for that, the initial cost will be very high, and you need to install. And tomorrow, if for example the hardware upgradation is done, no, each and every year it is changing, right? For example, i3, i5 processors and all. So again, you need to upgrade your servers and all if you want to maintain your servers and all your own. So instead of that, we can buy it from the some of the Azure providers, and we can use their services, and we can pay as you use. For example, I need a D365 application, and my employees will use it only 9 to 6, all the systems. After 6, we will shut down. If you need only few environments, you can open those environments, and remaining all you can stop it, and again it will automatically start at tomorrow at 9 a.m. That is possible. So Microsoft will charge whatever the services you used in between 9 to 6, and whatever the applications you used, based on that only they will charge it. Okay, so automatically what it is happened, it will automatically reduce your initial costs, and you are paying what you are using for that. Okay, that is calculated based on the subscription. Microsoft will provide the Azure subscription, we call it as. Based on this Azure, we need to buy that Azure subscription, and based on that Azure subscription we create the environments and all. Okay, based on your requirement. For example, if you are completely moving your existing systems and everything to the cloud, you can go for the platform as a service, and everything, firewalls and security, database level, everything will be maintained by Microsoft. If you are going for only for the specific systems, and you want to it, you can go for the infrastructure as a service. Only if you want to use the specific software and you want to use it, you can go for the software as a service. So based on this Azure subscription, you can create your own virtual machines and everything. That is the one of the one of the thing by using this Azure subscription. Coming to the D365 finance and operations. Okay, as I mentioned, we need the Visual Studio for the development, and we have a model concept. What is meant by a model? Okay, so I'm saying model from the initial sessions. What is meant by a model? Okay, as I mentioned earlier, for example, we are doing some customization. My organization is, for example, Tata Services. So, as for my requirement, I need to modify the existing objects according to my business process, according to my requirements, and you need to modify some of the things. So, to bifurcate whatever the standard thing and whatever the what is the customization, we need to create a model. For example, tomorrow, now in AX2012, what you used to do, for example, I have changed something in the standard object. We used to maintain the layers, right? User layer, customer, cust layer, ISV layer. We have different layers. That layers concept also I will explain in the actual sessions. By using that layer concept, it will compile and execute it. Okay. Tomorrow, for example, if it is some of the class is changed by Microsoft, and in between you have your code, again it requires the maintenance. Okay, because in between Microsoft added something, what are the variables or something you have used for the your business process, it is removed or it is moved to some other place, something like that. Again, you need to compile that code, and whatever the changes are happened in the standard level, you need to identify those, and you need to modify your code accordingly. So that involves a lot of maintenance. So in D365 Finance and Operations, Microsoft came up with a new concept called the model. We can create our models, own models. For example, for Tata services, if I am creating, I can create a model, my own model. TCS I can create. Okay, in whatever the changes I am doing, for example, I have cust table, right? For that cust table I want to add a new field. So what I will do is, instead of directly modifying the cust table in X2012, what we used to do is, we will open that object directly by using our layer. We'll add the new field directly there itself in the cust table. So now Microsoft came up with a concept called extensions. What we will do is, in this model, we will create an extension for the cust table. By using the to that extension, we'll create the new field. So what it will do is, whatever the standard cust table, for example, standard cust table is available in the application suite model. That is the standard model. Application suite is the standard model. What we will do is, we will reference to the application suite model in this TCS model. We can give references, how to add references, I will explain. Okay, so whatever the objects available in this application suite, we can extend those objects in this TCS model, and we will create an extension to the cust table. So what it will do is, it will automatically create one extension object in the TCS model, and we can add those whatever the new fields required, or if you want to add a new method or anything, you can do it by using this TCS model. So what now it is, we are bifurcating the standard code and customization. So now whatever the customizations I did for related to my company or organization, it is bifurcated. So if I modify a table, or if I modify a view or query or anything, those customizations will be available in this model. Okay, this is the standard model. So tomorrow, if Microsoft updates something in this application suite cust table, so it will update in this model itself. This is a application suite model. So Microsoft will not allow to do direct modification to this model. So whatever the cust table available in this application suite, will not be able to modify directly without creating a customized model. Okay, that is the concept here in D365 Finance and Operations. So previously, what we used to do, we used to simply open that particular object, and we used to modify in some of the layers based on our requirement, cust layer or ISV layer or user layer. Now the layers concept is completely like not using concept. If you want to use it, you can use it, but it is not mandatory to use the layer concept. But you can specify any layer. It's not like you need to specify only this layer concept, but you need to create a model. Without creating the model, you will not be able to do any customizations. So customizations, we have two concepts as I mentioned: overlaying and extensions. Overlaying in the sense, that is the AX2012 concept. We are directly modifying the standard objects. This overlaying concept is previously in AX7 and AX8 they have given for the some of the models. but now Microsoft has completely removed for one except one or two models, that also they will remove. So while creating the model itself, it will ask. Okay, this concept is completely removed. So now we cannot use this overlaying concept in D365 finance and operations. Coming to the extension, what we will do? Extension means we will create a new model, and whatever the objects you are modifying, we will create an extension to the specific object, and we will modify the object according to our requirement. Extension to the object. Whatever the new, for example, if you create a new table as per the requirement, you are creating a new table or new class or new SSRS report, everything will be reside in the new model, whatever you have created. Okay. So based on the model, we will create the package. Okay, based on the model, we will create the package, and that package will be deployed to the different environments. Okay. In this customer, while doing the extensions, we have different concepts like COC, chain of commands, we call it as. We will create an extension to the methods and all, and along and event handlers, events. Okay, we have different concepts and delegates. All these things I'll explain. And coming to the forms, previously in X2012 we have a concept called templates. To design the form, we have a concept called templates. Now Microsoft has in D365 it is modified as the design patterns. We call it as design patterns. So what are the different design patterns available, and how can we use those design patterns? By using the different design patterns, how can we create different type of forms and all? We have simple list, details master, and parameters, table of contents. So different dialogue, different design patterns are there. All those design patterns will be explained in the actual sections. And we have for integrations, for each and every ERP system, integration is the important thing. For example, because why it is important is ERP system is a vast system, right? So we are dealing with multiple things. You can create a purchase order, you can create a sales order, you'll maintain the vendors, you'll maintain the customers and everything. There are different systems. For example, if I am manufacturing something and some other third party system is shipping my products to the different areas and all, so I need to integrate my system with the third party systems. So there are a lot of integration concepts in order to the picture. We have data management concepts. In this data management, we'll create the data entities. These data entities, we can, by using these data entities, you can use the OData concepts, and you can create the batch APIs. Okay, you can create the batch APIs, and you have OData services, and you can create the custom services as well. For example, if you want to provide the live data and frequently customers has to call that, and they need to get the, for example, you have the inventory for a particular product, you need to get the latest inventory availability in some other third party e-commerce system or something. So then they need to call that web service, and they need to check the particular product is available or not. We will provide the custom services. Okay. And as we are on the Azure system, so we have different things like Power Platform, but these concepts are not covered. Power Platform and all these things. We have one more thing called you can connect to the different Azure databases as well by using these data entities, and you can push the data, and you can get the data and import into your D365 system. And this data management concepts, you have the full push and incremental push. Anybody know this? What is meant by full push and incremental push? For example, from your third party, we are whatever the customers we are created here, we need to push into some third party system as well, some e-commerce system or some other system. So instead of pushing the data, for example, today I have 100 customers. I have exported all 100 customers to the third party system. tomorrow again if you want to export, so again 100 customers if you export, so every day it will increase, right? Tomorrow I have created one more 100, so every day it will increase 100 and every day you are pushing complete data. So that is not the acceptable solution, right? Whatever the changes happen to the particular customer or whatever the new customers, so if you push that is available, otherwise it will hit the performance of the system. So what it will do is full push means whatever the customers available in the system, every day it will push all the customers. Incremental push means whatever the modified customers, if there is any information related to the customer is modified customer and new customers only will be pushed to the by using this data entities. Okay, full push means it will push all the information every day. So incremental push means whatever the modified, for example, today I have pushed 100 customers. First time it will push all the 100 customers. Tomorrow I have modified in this 100 customers. I have modified the information related to two customers, and I have created another 50 new customers. So by using incremental push, what it will do is it will export only 52 customers, 50 new and two modified customers. That is a full push and incremental push. How to configure all these batch jobs and everything, that I will explain in the actual sections. Okay, along with that we have batch jobs, custom services. I already explained it. I will explain the workflows, forms I told, and classes. And in data entities, we have different data entities: normal data entity, composite data entity, aggregate data entity. I will show you the concepts what I am going to cover. This is the course content. I will give the introduction, architecture, and comparison of the different versions. This will I will compare for each and every object while explaining. Cloud model, what is the pros and cons, and introduction to Azure, and how to access the Azure portal, and how can we create the different things by using the Azure portal, and what is meant by three-tier and n-tier, and what is the licensing model, and what is meant by an application explorer and different types. In application explorer we have classic view and model view, that I will explain, and how to create a package, and what is meant by an LCS, and how can we create a project in LCS, and how to integrate LCS with the DevOps, and how to do the code migration by using this LCS, and what is the D365 setup and server architecture. And in D365 you have menus, and in the Visual Studio we have D365 menu item. Okay, that I will explain. In classic view, model view, data types, primitive, base enums, and extended data types. And data model, in data model we'll cover tables, views, queries, and basic data entities, composite data entities, aggregated data entities, and what is meant by maps. And in code, I will explain the object oriented programming, and what are the different like inheritances available, and how it will support different inheritances and all. I will explain what is meant by runnable class. Previously we have X2012 jobs, right? Now we call it as runnable classes. Okay, and what are the different new keywords available, like we have vocable, hackable, replaceable, and different keywords are there. What are those keywords, and I will explain. Macros and this exception handling, it's same like X2012. And user interface side, you have forms, styles, menus, and menu items. All those will be how can we create new, and how to modify the customize the existing ones. I will explain for each and every. And reporting side, we have SSRS and Power BI integration, and how to handle the labels, workflows, and configuration keys, references. And coming to the security side, how to create a roles, duties, privileges, and permissions. And we have XDS concept, extended data security. How can we implement that one? Those things, and customizations for each and every object. How can we customize each and every objects, and chain of command, form extensions, menu extensions. And coming to the services, we have OData model, and we have comparison tool to export the project, and even in the DevOps to if you connect to the DevOps, how can we compare with the different previous versions of the object, and what is the deployment model, and how can we move the customizations from one environment to another environment. How can you upgrade your code from X2012 to G365 through by using the LCS? and we have a concept called trace parser. If you have any performance issues, or if you are not able to replicate some of the issue in your lower environments, how can we use the trace parser? And task recording is a new concept available. We can record the tasks, and we can create the test cases by using the task recorders. All these concepts will be explained. This is the course content, and course duration will be 2 months. The classes will be 45 classes. So classes will be from Monday to Friday. If there is any missing class, or if you need more classes like that, I will take most of the time Saturdays as well. Okay, that I will intimate previous day itself if I am taking going to take the class on Saturdays. Okay, this is the course content. Now people can ask questions. Hello.
Hello, Ram.
Hi,
I'm a
Ravikant.
functional finance consultant.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Okay.
I'm a chartered accountant and I'm a functional finance consultant. I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested in giving the Microsoft certification. So MB310 and MB300 are the papers I need to write. So I
Mm-hmm.
have. Would you share your thoughts on how far your sessions are going to be helpful? Is this course,
My
or you are
sessions are
going to take something
completely
else?
technical. My sessions are completely technical. If you want to write like uh, technical side certifications, it will be definitely helpful. We have Microsoft Development Associate, and some architecture MB500 and MB300 certifications are there. It will be helpful to those certifications. Functional side, very minimal, it will be covered. How to go to the respective like menu item or form, those things will be covered. But functional side, I'm not going to cover anything. So you need to go for the functional sections. Even for those certifications also, I don't think so my course will be helpful, because it is completely technical side.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ram.
Yeah.
Hi Ram, this is Sharon. I have a
Hello.
question that can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is like I already already working on 2012 from last four
Hmm.
years. So it's
Okay.
with your course it include basics only or it is advanced version as well. There's advanced
it
version of this one.
it will cover both. See, next 2012 you don't have the extensions concept and all, right? So, but
Yes.
initial stages, I will cover basics as well as the advanced concepts, like how can you create an extension to the different objects, and what is the difference between AX2012 overlaying concept and these extensions. And we have a lot of differences towards the integration side, like OData I told to you, right? So everything
Yep.
will be exposed as OData and JSON formats. That things also will be covered. But I will explain in some of the concepts, so basic concepts as well. So at that time you can refresh your like knowledge.
Yeah. And what about integrations like integrations?
Yeah,
Uh,
integrations, I will cover the data management. How can you create the data management and the data entities, different type of data entities. How can you access from the outside those data entities, and what are the different, how can you like you can recurrence the batch APIs. So it will
uh,
generate the files and all, and you can put it in the blob storage. In
okay.
AX2012, you can directly access your server path and all. But in D365, it's not possible to access your server paths. You need to put
Yeah.
it in Azure Blob Storage. Those things will
Yeah.
be covered.
Okay.
Along with that, you have like bring your own database,
Mm-hmm.
BYYD. So how to
Okay.
configure your data entities to push your data to the respective database, Azure database and all.
Okay. And with your
Uh,
classes, you said it's 2 month classes. It's Monday to Fridays, 1 hour each, 1 hour every
yes,
day.
every day 1 hour.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Sir, I'm
Ashish.
from basic mechanical. I'm I'm from. I recently completed my graduation in mechanical engineering, sir. Now I
Mm-hmm.
want to change my domain to software.
Okay.
Like how this can be helpful for my career growth in software, sir.
Definitely, it will
Like
be helpful, but you need to stretch a bit. So I think you know the C language and even your, I think normal academics in most of the colleges they are giving the C language and all basic software related in your first year or second year. They are covering it, right? Do you have any
okay,
knowledge
sir.
on the
Oh yes, sir.
C programming? C programming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know. I have knowledge in C language.
Yeah. Okay. That will help to understand the concepts. Okay. But you need to practice more.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. You need to spend
Okay, sir.
daily at a minimum 3 to 4 hours to practice it. Definitely, you can. It will helpful. And now this Azure ERP system, D365 Finance and Operations, it has a lot of market and people outside they are not getting the number of organizations are struggling for the people. Okay, definitely it will
Okay,
be
sir.
helpful for your career.
Sir, like, what are the opposites of freshers, sir? Like now I can able to say like only experience are they are hiring for. What about freshers, sir?
Freshers also, the lot of companies are taking. If you know the ERP system and you are able to like explain what are the different concepts available. So instead of going there and taking the again companies, what they will prefer is if you already have the knowledge, they will prefer. Okay. For example, there
Okay,
are
sir.
10 members or freshers are there. In the 10 members, it can be advantage for you, right, for your profile. If you know already D365 Finance and Operations and company is looking for the people who already knows it, definitely it will be a added
Okay, okay,
advantage to
sir.
your
Yeah,
profile.
yeah.
Hello.
If
So will you give any
Uh,
placement, sir?
placements, I cannot guarantee, but whatever the requirements we are getting from outside, we will share it through WhatsApp groups. So you people can directly send the resumes.
Okay, sir. Sir, what will be the timings of this class, sir? Like morning or evening?
Timings we are planning morning 8:30 to 9:30. So if there is if lot of
Evening
people are there,
9:30.
morning 8:30 to 9:30. And if lot of
Okay,
like
morning.
most of the people required in some other time, we can discuss and plan it accordingly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can touch base with the front office
Okay.
people. We can discuss and
Okay,
we'll
sir.
see
how will we practice?
How much is the fees like we have to discuss? We have to discuss, sir.
the front office people will share. Can you people share your email IDs and mobile numbers here in chat window? Front office people will contact you.
How we will practice
Sir,
on?
will you provide any
Okay, sir.
project
Yes, yes.
for practicing?
I will provide the how to create your virtual machine to download from the LCS and how to configure. I will provide it. That you need minimum like 16 GB RAM kind of environment so that you can run the environment. And there is one more option. You can directly access the Microsoft Practice VM, but for every 2 hours it will restart. So that also you can use it for practice purpose.
Okay.
How to download and configure the virtual machine, I will explain. You people can download the we'll have 9 different 3 GB files from the LCS. We will download those files and we'll extract it and configure the environment either by using dual booting or either by Hyper-V manager. You can configure that environment and you can do that. Currently I'm connecting to that environment only. See, for example, if you see, this is my environment. I connected as the virtual machine. Okay, here it will have all the requirements whatever is looking for. For example, I told Visual Studio as the tool, right? This is my Visual Studio. It is already installed in this virtual machine. Once you configured it, you don't need to install anything except some third-party tools for our development purpose. One or two tools we need to install it. That will be not immediately. while explaining those concepts. This is the Visual Studio we are going to develop from here. We will have the Dynamics 365 menu item by default. Everything is installed. You can see the menu item here. You can create a new model by using this model concepts, and you'll have the complete D365 finance and operations installed in the C drive. You can see D365 related models and all AOS service package local directory. These are all the models available in standard models available. Whenever you create a new model also, it will create automatically a folder here. So this, how to configure this virtual machine, I will explain. By using this virtual
Suppose
machine, you can practice it.
suppose that we miss the some classes, then how we will recover that class?
Yes, yes, I will cover that.
No, no, I missed the class.
You will get the recordings.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
there is a portal. Front office people will take your email ID and they will give the access and they will share with you. You can access those recordings whenever you want.
Thank you.
Hi, Ram, one of the issues, like
Your voice is a bit lower. You can speak a bit louder. Who is
I
that?
speak now.
Race.
Yeah, Rais.
Will you provide any project?
Hello.
I will explain the concept through like project and live scenarios, and I will give the for your practice purpose. I will give the live scenario concepts as well, so that you can practice it.
Hi, Ram, can you hear me?
Your voice is very low, yaar. Can you speak a bit louder?
Just a moment. Here now. Hello.
Yeah, still it's low. You can speak. I will try to understand.
Yeah, just we and Sharon are looking like some advanced things like you already mentioned. Just
Hmm.
I would like to add one or two things like if you are going to cover that like migration strategies like from AX 2012 to 365 and
Data migration or code migration you are looking?
data and code both
Okay.
and like having an external web service.
Okay. Web services.
Yeah, OData, I think you are already covering OData integration.
Yeah, web services also I am covering. Those we call it as custom services here. In
Yeah,
AX 2012 we have AIF services, right? That AIF services is not there now. Okay, we have only custom services.
okay,
Previously
okay.
in AX 2012 we have document services, AIF services, right? Now the
Mm,
document services and AIF services are not there. Now we
mm,
can create only custom services.
okay, okay, okay. And the last unit that you have mentioned in the course content,
Hmm.
if it's good, we really like the main reason for joining this course is that the last content, the course content of the last unit, it's very good.
Hmm.
If you can like give some medium to advanced examples in that
Okay.
last unit, that would
Only
be
only two people are there, or if, for example, if you have around 7 to 8 people, I will try to take a separate section for you people so that I can explain only the topics which are advanced kind of thing. Instead of going through the base enums, extended data types, I will
yeah,
go
yeah,
through the
yeah, yeah.
extensions and all.
Yeah, we have only two now, me and Sharon.
Hmm.
Don't
Hmm.
know, but maybe one hour class you can, just
Yeah.
spend some extra minutes on the
Yeah, that
advanced.
I will check with front office if there are any people more than like 7 8 kind of thing. I'm looking for the minimum 10 people for the batch. If for because
Okay.
if you have less people, it will be not more interactive and for taking the time also it will be not
Yeah,
because I don't have much time
Yeah,
to
include me
spend
also.
here.
Include me also
Okay.
for the advanced topic.
Yeah, try to give the details to the front office we need a separate section like that based on the count. We can have separate section that we will discuss.
sure, sure. Thanks, Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay then. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time and have a good day. Uh, and looking forward to see you all in the actual sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please ping your mobile number and name and your email ID here in the chat.
Hello.
Yes, Srikanth.
Sir, you are providing any notes, sir?
I will give you the URLs. See, this is now completely different things are changing day by day, right? It's evaluating
Yes.
like anything. So I will provide you the Microsoft Docs site. There you'll have the complete concepts and examples and everything. It will be explained there. I will provide those links.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, then. Thanks everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.